And here we are with Game 3 of Mondragon against Fenix. Right now we have Fenix currently tied 1-1 with Mondragon, and Fenix is at the bottom as Terran, and we see Mondragon with his hack enabled, sending the Overlord to the bottom right position right away. Already a good spot to be in is Mondragon.
Right, he's going to be able to get there, see if Fenix is sending out those Marines early, if he's doing a fast expansion. You know, you always just feel more comfortable when you get there right at the start. So, outside are a map with a cliff that overlooks the natural, so Mondragon should be able to get his Overlord very close and not miss any sort of 2 racks Marines coming out, or not miss any timing pushes. But this was the map where Fenix did that BSB early Marine rush that took out Cole.
Yeah,
I don't feel like we're going to see that against Mondragon on this map this time.
You know, I don't actually mind doing that again. I feel like that's a stable enough strategy on this
Looks
map.
like I'm completely wrong.
Oh, calling it bucketed. +1 esport buck for day 9. Oh yeah, do we have a bet going on this match? I mean, we're tied right now. I mean, I'm up, what, 5 esports dollars? Do you want to bet 5 so that way if I'm wrong we can just be break even and be friends?
Can we be friends? Okay, I'll take Fenix actually.
Oh, I'll take the Mondragon, the Jurg user. So currently we're betting 5 esports dollars. I'm currently up 5, just to state what the current status of our record is. And we look like that barracks is coming down right on time. And uh-oh, Mondragon is 12 hatching away. The standard on this map, very, very dangerous if you're up against a very aggressive opponent like Fenix.
Looks like he's doing some sort of 12 scout here. That's a little... Normally we see the 9 scout, or we see the 2 drone to natural and then send the other 1 scout. So a little weird timing on here, but Mondragon's the kind of guy who feels comfortable doing that. He doesn't need to do kind of what's the standard that everyone else does. Very nice timing on Fenix's build. Barracks finishes with just 50 minerals. Now he's sending out that SCV. Going to be sending out the first Marine to put a little pressure on. It's going to be interesting to see if he puts the bunker up or if he's just going to do that kind of build where he builds up a few Marines and then sends them out. Looks like he's not rallying. Now the Overlord coming. Probably not going to see that Marine moving out thus far.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to just maybe get into his vision range. I have absolutely no idea if he was able to see that. It looks like Fenix is pulling that back. He wants to regroup and get a bigger Marine force early on. If we go back to Mondragon's main, he's built drones right up to 13, but he's saving larva right now because he doesn't know what's up. It looks like he has, in fact, seen the Marines coming out. Yeah, that Overlord's doing a good job of checking out everything that's up. And look at this wonderful timing by Fenix, moving out right when he has 3 Marines. And if we go over to the hatchery, it's at about 900 hit points. So, preemptive drone move here by Mondragon. He really wants to make sure that bunker rush doesn't work. But this is the whole plan that Fenix has. Look, not really many SCVs coming out. 3 Marines, oops, one of the Marines got left behind, but 3 Marines are just going to rip through those drones.
Right, the point of this is not to get the bunker up, he just wants to kill drones, so this is kind of falling right into Fenix's hands here with Mondragon bringing this out. Now 6 drones making, we've got the natural with 2 more drones. Now we can put the bunker up, and it's probably going to be able to complete. Mondragon needs to bring those drones back down. We see reinforcements from Fenix coming in, 3 more Marines being rallied. I really feel like this bunker is going to get up, but that sunken colony may be able to save it. Now Fenix is going to be able to take out a lot of drones. 2 drones already dead, third one taken out, and now the Zerglings are out. You got to get in the bunker, you got to get in! Oh, none of them get in!
Wow, and this is the part where Mondragon should cancel that sunken colony. You know, you don't really need to spend that money right now. You could get your 3rd hatch up a little bit more quickly. And you know what? This is the sort of situation I was really worried about Mondragon at the start, because he selected his drones and he right-clicked on the minerals by Fenix's base, so that way they would glitch through. But when you're glitching your drones, it actually is worse against a bunker rushing player with SCVs.
Right.
You don't want those Marines. You don't want those drones stacked. You want to just control them properly. It's very easy to defend a bunker rush if you're just moving the drones. And when Mondragon did that right at the start, he lost a few too many drones right then and there, and I thought he was just going to lose immediately. But, I mean, beautiful defense. Look at that timing. I mean, did you see that? He killed off those Marines like a nanosecond before that bunker finished. Absolutely incredible job by Mondragon.
So as you were saying, this is a good map to do the BSB strategy because you just lift off, as Terran can do, run up your ramp, stand there, Zerg can't kill that, and you just take your back natural. So, I mean, you've obviously, or you would obviously prefer to take your front natural, but this is a little bit of consolation. You can put that early pressure on, kill some drones as Fenix did, and you don't wind up in that bad of a position given how bad a failed bunker rush can turn into.
And, it's a little bit of a disadvantage, the fact that Mondragon was on the left side of the map instead of top, because Fenix is not going to like expanding to this right command center. The bottom command center is much easier to maneuver your Marines back and forth from. But that expansion at the right, look at how far away the top right expansion is from the front ramp of Fenix. I mean, that's going to be a little bit of a concern, but hopefully it'll be okay. Fenix is the sort of player who's very good with mid-game pressure. I'm certain they'll be able to move that with big medic Marine groups to the point where that really won't be a big concern, but these are little things that I think are important to think about in the long term.
So Mondragon's relative timing still looking good. He's still starting the second gas when he gets his layer up, but I mean, on an absolute scale, his layer is way late. It's like a full minute late, making it at 25 supply, which is not when you want to be making it. But I mean, given how the game turned out, that's just what happens. We see Fenix with 2 barracks up, now getting his academy. He can put a little pressure on.
Oh,
looks like Mondragon wants to move in. I don't agree with that. Losing a lot of Zerglings there. I'm not sure how many Marines he killed. It's all blood is red, so I feel like Mondragon got the worst of that. And now with the academy coming up, we should see medics coming out in a little bit of a push from Fenix.
Yeah, Mondragon looking pretty good. I mean, it looks like he was trying to get a little sneaky. I mean, if you look at that friendly Overlord just overseeing everything going on at the ramp, Mondragon is the sort of player who will pounce on every little edge he possibly can. So when he saw that there were only 3-4 Marines at the front, he was obviously going to try to run up there and crush it if he could. But very good bait by Fenix. Got all those units pulled all the way up and then killed off most of them. And we see Mondragon reinforcing, adding a few extra Zerglings. Look at the front of Mondragon's natural. 2 sunken colonies going down. Looks like a 3rd one is going down right now. But we still actually haven't even seen Fenix move out too aggressively. That's just what happens when you lose a lot of units early on. You kind of get all, and you try to quickly build some defenses because you have to. It's not the spot you want to be in. Fenix is very happy to have had that happen. And Fenix, really good timing. Would like to see him getting upgrades at that engineering bay. Maybe that's a mistake. But overall, looking very, very nice for Fenix.
Mondragon's Spire at the 3rd here, up at the north. It's about 50% done, and he's at 35 of 35. So this is the point where we want to see him get 3 Overlords, save the larva up, so that he can hatch those 9 mutas. Phoenix moving out. Mondragon's got some flanking Zerglings. Those can either run by to backstab, or they can flank. And it looks like Fenix is aware of this, or has some sort of intuition, because he moves up to deal with the flank and brings a few units back to his ramp. So nice by him. I don't expect him to do anything once he sees, oh, that's a lot of sun colonies. Okay, he's definitely not going to do anything. Just moving out, putting a little pressure on, and then returning to his base to defend the Mutalisk.
I really like that sunken placement too. Perfect concave, and the Overlord is poaching a little bit farther forward. That's like when Protoss players build a pylon in front of their base. That Overlord's going to take a bunch of key extra hits unless Fenix controls everything super properly. So, I mean, that Overlord is one of the biggest reasons that defense is going to be very, very strong at the front. Very subtle, but a little extra thing that just gives you an enormous edge. And still no +1 upgrade. Now Fenix starts the +1 upgrade. That felt super late, and the Mutalisks are now up for Mondragon. He's looking in good shape at this point in time. I'd like to see that expansion coming up pretty soon right now for Fenix, if he's not already planning on doing it already.
I'm not sure Fenix is aware of this Spire, because I feel like if he knew Mutalisk were out, he'd be recalling his units back into his main at this point. Whereas what he's doing now feels like an expectation of Lurkers. Maybe he never hit that Spire with the scan, but we see +1 on the Spire going up. So Mondragon clearly having the intention of using Mutalisk quite a long time into the game, and this is really unfortunate for Fenix because of the expansion he took. It's incredibly hard to defend, and we see only 2 turrets at that expansion on the right side. That's only takes maybe 7 Mutalisks to take that out. With 9 or 11 Mutalisks, they're going to take that out very quickly, and then all those SCVs are exposed. So here come the Mutalisks running in. Fenix without the +1, and that's going to make this difficult for him. First turret going to go down almost immediately. It's going to burn down with those 11 hits, and now Mondragon going to work on the Marines. Fenix doing nice to control the units. Hasn't lost too much yet, but he needs to get a little more a few more turrets up, I think, just to give him some more control here.
And I love this building placement by Fenix at the bottom. Look at that. A nice little aisle for turrets to go down, and wonderful, wonderful planning by Fenix. That is the hallmark of a solid player who's really planned their build out a little bit. Who's playing in, oh, the Mutalisks are flying over the Medic Marine group in the front. Oh my god. I actually almost missed that, because I was just like, oh yeah, Mondragon, he's going to fly him around. That's not going to be a big deal. But Mondragon just not looking at the mini-map for just a brief period, and cost him a Mutalisk and got a lot of hits on the other ones. We see that second command center for the expansion going down right now, just above the natural expansion. And factory's down right now, looking really good for Fenix, but uh-oh, look here at this expansion at the right. Mondragon coming in here with his Mutalisks that are about to be +1. Mm-hmm. Oh, chill, no one can hear you. No one can hear chill again. So it appears that I'm going to be soloing. One thing that our wonderful friend Chill was talking about drumping drones and branking fronts, is that it looks like at the north side of the map, it looks like Mondragon has already taken the double gas, and it looks like he's teching towards Hive, getting Hydralisks again, getting Lurkers at the front. Instead of opting for minerals and sunken colonies to defend the front, he's going to use his gas in the form of Lurkers to defend his front. Mondragon always prefers to have a little bit more completed of a tech tree. And by the way, whenever we get Chill back in the game, if anyone could just let me know. Although I do love talking, so I'll continue to do so. So that expansion's now up for Fenix, and I think that was a wonderful job that Fenix is getting that refinery up very, very early. He really needs to get that gas out so he can support the double starports. And look, uh-oh, looks like some Mutals are trying to run in the front, and there's almost no Marines there. It looks like a tank is going to fall as well. Uh-oh, Karnak left the game? Oh, that was Chill leaving the game. I, like, freaked out. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and solo cast this game for now. So, oh man, that tank did fall, but that's okay. It's going to repel that a little bit, but you know what? Those tanks are going to delay the push and weaken it quite a bit. These Mutals are moving up to the right side right now, managing to take out a lot of these turrets. Look at that +1 upgrade. Those turrets are falling so fast. And it looks like Fenix might have to just retreat all the way from here. And it's trying to repair that as best he can. I mean, right now, Fenix is probably thinking about trying to move in the front, but if we look there are Lurkers there already. Coming back to the right side of the map, it looks like that, in fact, these Mutalisks are going to be able to completely demolish this right expansion. Mondragon a little bit rich right now. He's almost at 1k, 1k. Some nice micro picking some guys off. Ooh, yet more Marines are falling. It looks like Mondragon might even be able to completely eliminate this Mutalisk, or this Marine group with his Mutapack. Very, very nice job. And Fenix is feeling a little bit shaken up. Look at the natural expansion with gas for Fenix. 5 SCVs queued up. Right now at this back right side, this is the problem with taking that right side expansion. It's just so hard to defend. It's way more difficult to bounce back and forth between your front and the side. And look, Mondragon just happily waltzing away. Big contain at the front for Fenix. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, because, I mean, you're not really going to be denying any expansion. Perhaps Fenix is just super, super worried about Defilers coming in and ruining his day or everything. If we just glance at the minimap right now, look at the north side of the map. Beautiful Overlord positioning by Mondragon. He has Overlords also at the bottom. The true hallmark of a strong Zerg player, an experienced Zerg player, who knows how big of a threat drops are, who knows how easy it is to lose if you're not keeping like a hawk eye on the minimap. And we only see just now is Fenix starting that +2 attack upgrades, getting real far behind and no second engineering bay in sight. We do see 2 sets of vessels coming out right now. And ooh, look at the front of the base. Fenix is trying to move in and just push back a little bit. Nothing too excessive happening right now. And everything seems to be stabilizing just a little bit. Look at this bottom of the map. Oh my god, Mondragon doing a great job of keeping his money low, taking the bottom left and the bottom double gas. This is just going to be so hard for Terran to deal with. And if we look at the top left expansion, there is also a greater spire about to pop out for Mondragon. Oh god, I'm so happy Chill isn't here, because he would probably tell me the Guardians aren't totally sweet, but I'm running this show. Guardians are the man. So we're seeing some Scourge join along in the top right corner. 2 of those Guardians. You know, you don't want to send those Guardians by themselves. You know, it's very easy to just go into autopilot and say, I'm only going to make Guardians, and just attack the back and ignore them. But that support's great. Look at the front right now. A beautiful Lurker Ling push coming out of the front right now. And Mondragon also getting ready to make Guardians in the top right. Ooh, Guardians already en route. This is unbelievably difficult situation to be in right now. Oh, Mondragon keeping his money so low. Look at this. He's at 375, continuing to push forward. Excellent swarm. The tank is getting unsieged, and as we note, Fenix has that extra bonus where he gets to unsiege twice as fast as other players. Getting excellent watching of the minimap. So Fenix, I mean, has been playing a pretty strong game, you know. He's getting a good build up. He's keeping his macro pretty good. He needs to be being a little better about upgrades, which he's doing right now. But Mondragon just has this superior control over the ring, over all those outside expansions. Those bottom left and bottom double gases are going to be huge. And the Guardians now hitting the right side. Those SCVs dropping like flies. And Medic's there trying to heal everything, but she's not going to do too much work for much longer. There's a Wraith there, but all these Scourge in the top right are going to be able to defend that. In the meanwhile, Mondragon has all these Defilers at his choke. He's continuing to reinforce this Lurker patch, trying to do this nice, solid, slow push forward. This is the issue with slow pushing on a map. With a big, wide-open middle. It's very difficult for Zerg to get a straight, solid movement because the Terran keeps curling around. That's why I'm such a fan of having Guardians as a tool to advance that push to get a wider range of coverage. And that Wraith doing a lot more damage than it should have. It has 4 kills already. Pair Scourge go to kill it, but it is quite late. And oh, if we look in the middle, look at these beautiful swarms and a plague! Happy Valentine's Day, ladies and gentlemen. The bright fluorescent red in glorious celebration of passion and love in StarCraft. And looks like this push is getting held at a standstill for now. We see some dropships getting made for Fenix, and Fenix also keeping his money very low. 120 food for Mondragon, 145 food for Fenix. And at the top, looks like some Marines wandered up towards that north expansion of Mondragon, got killed off relatively quickly. We see some SCVs at the north also getting ready to expand. Very nice coverage by Mondragon. He has some Scourges at the right, just watching those SCVs begin to remine. And look at these brave vessels by Fenix. We were talking a lot about this in the last series, the fact that Fenix wasn't being aggressive enough with his vessels, wasn't moving far enough forward. Or maybe that was Brad okay. Either way, it was definitely said last week. And I think this is an amazing adjustment that all Terran players should take into account, being very brave with their vessels moving forward, being willing to lose 1 or 2 here and there, just to make sure those Defiler counts get cut down. And look at this dropship moving along the back, but oh my god, they're going to go straight for some Scourge, and the Scourge is going to see it. No! He squeezes by the Scourge! No way! That drop is going down in Mondragon's main, and look at the front. Fenix is able to swing these Marines in between, making sure that those Defilers and Lurkers cannot reinforce those Lurkers, and this drop is down and stimming and sprinting straight north. If we look at the center of the map, another incredible plague. Unbelievable job by Fenix. Trying to do that drop in the center, but Mondragon with these unbelievable pushes in the middle. This is a true battle of unbelievable ability, and I will stop using the word unbelievable. And oh my god, these Marines are doing quite a bit of damage. Maybe they can take out this spawning pool right here. There's some Hydralisks there, but that extra Fire Bat is blocking those Zerglings, so this drop is going to be doing a damage for a long time. And there's some tanks being made now, some Vultures going down, still getting those upgrades, more dropships popping out. Look at those very brave science vessels advancing forward, trying to irradiate anything that could potentially move that push forward. And this drop in the main did quite a bit of damage before it ended up halting. Mondragon still doing an incredible job of keeping his macro at tip-top shape, staying all the way down at 500, 200 at this stage in the game. We are currently at the 17-minute mark. Phenomenal job. Absolutely loving this. Things are starting to calm down a little bit. The action's starting to lull. And this is the stage where you really need to start thinking about taking that mineral-only expansion that's at the center. We see the double gas going down, but really to get a solid edge, we need to start progressing forward, maybe getting some extra factories so that way we can get a bunch of tanks, and really exploiting the fact that we have control over the center as Terran. It's a little bit tenuous right now. I would like a Terran to be scanning the center, moving a little bit farther forward. We see this big medic marine group swooping around the top. Some mines going down, more dropships coming out. We see a whole bunch of Wraiths at the right side of Phoenix's expansion. I would love to see those Wraiths in action, sniping Overlords around the map at the north sides. And another plague, not the best that Mondragon's done, but still a nice little showcase of Mondragon's versatility in advancing forward. I like this transition to Hydras and Lurkerling instead of the Ultralisks. It makes for nice pushes, really utilizes that plague. Wow! More beautiful plagues and swarms going down for Mondragon. And even though Fenix is at 164 food, it really looks like he's at the disadvantage in this position. Mondragon has complete domination of the left side of the map, and if we look, he has a whole bunch of fatties, aka Ultralisks, aka cows, coming down the ramp. It's going to be so difficult for him to be able to deal with all those Ultralisks coming up. We see the expansion going down at the northern end. I mean, tons of expanding going on by Fenix. Look at these players. Look at how low their money is. 45 minerals for Fenix. Incredible job getting tanks now, getting a whole bunch more barracks. Looks like his upgrades are falling a little bit behind. Ooh, those lurkers at the northern end are giving him quite a bit of trouble. Need that +2 armor upgrade for that engineering bay. Look at Fenix just expanding all over the map. Who does he think he is? Zerg? LOL. And uh-oh, look at the Ultra Lurker combo and the Dark Swarms coming in. Oh no, and there's another plague! Look at Mondragon do these incredible plays. A mine goes off, doing some serious damage to those lurkers, but I don't know if Fenix is going to be able to defend this. Another mine, somehow microing and not killing off any of Fenix's Marines, and it looks like these Ultralisks are going to fall. Those tanks doing just terrible, terrible damage. I just love that incorporation of tanks into the late game. That's really how you get enough muscle to combat those Ultralisks effectively. Mondragon very low on gas, spending that all extremely well. Going to back up and make a whole bunch of mineral units. Now that he's mined out that top left expansion, he can use those hatcheries at the top to make units. And Mondragon just gooping all over the map, taking the top expansion, taking that top left mineral only in the center, taking the bottom mineral only in the center. Almost every single expansion on this map has one of the players edit. Serious macro going on by both players right now. Fenix has fallen behind though. He's at 160 food. Mondragon is at 171. Right now, I just think this is a horrible situation to be in as Terran. We don't quite have the center control that we really want to get in there and start cutting off the Zerg reinforcements all around the map. I mean, if we glance into Zerg's main, he's getting low on money in his main, 52 minerals there, the naturals almost mined out. If we can advance forward, get control of the center, that way we get control of the minerals and we can really start eating into the Zerg's big armies. The Ultras and the Zerglings, even though that's a pretty gas-heavy combination, it demands a lot of minerals as well. It's just resource-intensive in general. We see these Wraiths darting up to the top, managing to harass the drones just a little bit. And the Science Vessels, again, look at those Science Vessels in the center of the map, trying to find any defiler they can, but those Hydralisks are being instrumental in repelling any sort of irradiate that we normally see from the Terran opponent. And ooh, lots of defilers in the center of the map. Mondragon kind of hanging back a little bit, just biding his time and expanding a whole bunch. We see a Wraith with 10 hit points and 2 kills at that expansion. God, those Wraiths at the north did a ton of damage, 8 kills total combined on them. And this little tiny medic marine group is just not quite going to cut it, man. Fenix is maxed, but I just don't know where his units are. And oh my god, unbelievable numbers of units coming in here. I don't know if Fenix is going to be able to hold this off. A drop also happening at the bottom left right now. Let's see if the players can split their focus enough to deal with it. And oh, Mondragon accidentally plaguing his own Ultralist. Irradiate's going down. Yet another phenomenal plague by Mondragon. But the units of Fenix go all the way back. And yet more Ultralists coming in. This drop at the bottom is also managing to do a little bit of damage. Eat into that Terran. Even to the Zerg double gas. The SCV is now coming into battle. Fenix still at 148 food, managing to hold in there. He really needs to get a lot more tanks, vessels, every unit he can to the front. Those Ultralists are doing just violent damage to everything at the front. Nothing's going the way that Fenix wanted to, right? He just really needs to get this expansion held. He really needs to kill it. Finally, those Ultralists are starting to fall. Only one left, but if we look at the natural of Mondragon, look, over 6 cows hanging out right there. More coming. We see the Defiler and the Zerglings getting ready for yet another push. And that attack at the bottom has been repelled by a whole bunch of Hydralisks and Lurkers, and it looks like Fenix might end up losing his expansion at the bottom. This is a phenomenal step up from last week. Mondragon was having a lot of trouble keeping his money low, but not this week. His money is down to 0 almost all game long, and now Fenix, the macro beast, is letting that macro slip a little bit. He's getting to 1,500, 700. Adding on an add-on to a second factory really needs to get that additional muscle. Try to poke around to see if he has an extra armory anywhere to get some upgrades for those tanks, but it doesn't look like it. We need to have the engineering base floating in the center of the map. Those engineering bases have pretty much done their duty. One of them is gone. There's only one engineering bay at the bottom. Wonder where he went. But yeah, Vessel's still trying to push forward, but at this stage in the game, it's so difficult to be really aggressive with those Vessels, because it really demands that the Terran has an unbelievable grasp over the center of the map. That is his place to move around, and that Zerg is the one running in fear and relying on Dark Swarms. At this stage, these Vessels are kind of free pickings for Zerg. It's really difficult in this spot. In this stage, you can't rely on cuteness, you can't rely on running around, killing off defilers, preventing any sort of push. You just need the muscle. You need the medic marines and the tanks with the vessel support and able to knock back all those ultralings and the defilers. It's going to be a pretty tough push in order to deal with all that stuff. So we are in fact seeing the ultralists just sort of hanging out, waiting for these two defilers in the center of the map to do the damage. It looks like Fenix is lifting his command center at the right and trying to advance forward. Yet more vessels moving forward, trying to kill off those defilers. Quite a few tanks. Looks like 6 or 7 tanks right now for Fenix. Those are really what's going to help him push forward, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Those are so many ultralists and hydras, and even more at Mondragon's ramp, and here comes the defilers, completely undefended. He could have sniped them. He snipes one, but here comes the first big swarm, and oh, a plague on all the vessels, and another unbelievably good swarm, and all those tanks at the far right side are just getting eaten alive, and tons of units at Mondragon's front, and Fenix might not even be able to just hold off this group of units. Just incredible job by Mondragon, and good game. It looks like Mondragon has taken the series up 2-1 right now. And I think I might be your solo caster for the remainder of the time. I'm just going to double check on that. But yeah, I mean, let's just talk a little bit about that game. I mean, Fenix got in his groove the way he wanted to. He got his build going pretty well, but that right expansion gave him quite a little bit of difficulty because he couldn't quite have the turrets and the mobility the way he wanted to. Hold on, I'm just going to host the second game. And yeah, that really ended up eating in to his mid-game plans. He was trying to move so much. Mondragon, I think, picked off like 20 or so Marines in the midst of Fenix trying to defend all that. And that really put Fenix behind quite a bit. I'm questioning a little bit, though, if Fenix could have held things off a little bit more easily if he hadn't had all those units just hanging outside the front of Mondragon's base. I think maybe if he'd pulled those back a little bit, he would have been quite a bit more effective at defending Mondragon's attacks. And then after that, Mondragon just did that beautiful job with that double pincer attack right when he got the Guardians and all of the Dark Swarms up. He was pushing in the middle. He was attacking at the back. Great splitting of Fenix's focus, and Fenix really never got the opportunity to get center game control, which on Outsider is essential for Terran in every matchup to have just lockdown, iron, solid grip over the center of the map. So now we're going to just jump right into our final, game 4, not the final as far as I know. I actually do not know the results of this game. We're going on to Neo Tornado, which I think is a really cool map to watch because of those little pods that are outside the front of the bases. That allows not just for tanks to get positioned there, but it creates these cute counterattacks. And even though it seems just like a pretty innocuous looking formation, it creates this big circular dynamic to the map where a lot of times players will be pushing into the center and trying to get to your natural, but as Zerg, especially in the mid game when you want to be doing those lurker, ling, defiler counterattacks, those pods are going to give you the necessary mobility to work all around the map. Calm did amazing work against his opponents like Fantasy on this map, just exploiting that, and wherever Fantasy's army was, Calm was using those high ground pods to maneuver around and get directly to the Terran natural. So in this game, I'm really hoping we can see Fenix pull through and do some really fancy stuff and tie it up 2-2 so we can have 2 games go to Game 5 here on the round of 8. But either way, I mean, I think Mondragon is the one who's going to be having the advantage coming into this 4th set. I'm personally not feeling very comfortable as Fenix unless I have some new fancy build up my sleeve. And given what happened against Cole, I wouldn't be surprised if Fenix went for some sort of 2 racks ultra aggression in this game. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the Tornado game, Game 4.